So I think we did, as a group, we did really well with that.
I just fucked up. I don't have my mic on.
Oh, okay. So I was stuttering. Cool. That's fine.
Yeah. There we go.
Run it back.
Money in the way for what they got to say. I throw it up, it's falling down, it's definitely in the way.
Try this again.
Try it again.
All right.
Run it back.
All right, guys. Welcome back to Chart Talk episode 13 with Shake and myself. We're going over the market outlook, member ideas of the week, good trade, bad trade, as well as our top of the week. Again, for the market outlook, we saw this past week, we retested highs in the SPY. We talked about this a lot in the chat. We were just up and stops, being very aggressive. As we've seen before, when we tend to retest highs in the market, it's not really the best time to be gung-ho trying to buy things. It's time to kind of free up positions, free up cash, and be ready, for the pullback or consolidation that tends to follow. Shake, do you have anything you want to add?
Right, and it seems like the chat did such a great job these past couple weeks of taking profit into those highs. The past few times we've been up here, it seems like we've all kind of pulled back a little bit. We kind of we're hoping that it would take out highs. We were just being a little greedy at highs. And now into this huge resistance, I saw everyone just pretty much taking profit all Thursday and Friday. And then we saw pretty much here a pin drop in the chat today, which actually made me pretty happy that people weren't pounding the keys because there wasn't a lot of attractive setups after that run up into resistance coming into today. So I just think as a collective, we did really well these past couple weeks.
Nice. All right, we're going to jump into member ideas. We got Brian Trung looking at Peacock through 73. Pretty big daily level.
Yeah, huge daily level. I was looking at this one over the weekend. It just seems like it needs a little bit more time around here. I'd say a week or two. The 8th SMA is just catching up now. I mean, it's a great level on the weekly. It needs a little more time to consolidate that big run on the daily to me.
Yeah. And then the other name, shame you've been watching as well, this PFPT, this 130, 129, 130 area.
Oh, yeah. You know my feelings on Proof Point. That's my favorite chart out right now. It's trade of the week. I didn't get in today. It would have been nice in that reversal. But, again, wasn't really excited about the market coming into today. 128, 129, that area looks really good for this one.
And then we got Joda Franks looking at Momo through 36.
Yeah, that one looks really good. We were looking at this one today, too. Yeah, it just looks good through at 36. Tight support buy.
Yeah. I'm looking at it more like I'm zooming out a little bit. I like the 38.
38?
But again.
Yeah. Well, yeah, so trading style. It's like you'll wait for 38. And for me, I'm like licking my chops at 36.
Yeah.
That's like the difference.
At least we're on the same side.
Right.
Let's see. We got Tom Ramsey looking at this FSCT through 37.
Yeah, I like this one a lot, too. Super tight consolidation. Held that, 200-day simple moving average so well. All these moving averages are so clustered. And it's finally trying to break up away from support. Just looks like a great entry point right here.
Let's see. We've got Anish is looking at ACC through 48, 47.5, 48.
This is a REIT?
It's a REIT, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, we don't really trade REITs as much. They're much more investment vehicles, dividend-bearing names, such. Yeah, technically it looks great, but I'm not going to buy this one. I don't really trade REITs, so I wouldn't expect a huge breakout in this one.
Yeah, this is like that boring name, like the Verizon, you set and forget. But again, if you do zoom out, it's going back to 2012, that 48 is a pretty big level.
Definitely. I mean, you talk about Verizon has been beasting.
Yeah. Same one, same at 61. Let's see. Steve P. looking at TJX through 57. 56, 57.
Really nice level. Needs a lot of time to digest with the gap down today. Yeah, I would say it needs a few weeks before it's going to be ready, but definitely keep an eye on this one.
Yeah, this kind of reminds me almost like Andre's looking at Nike through 90. Kind of same thing, like, staple, S&P name at highs flagging. Just, might need a little bit of time to set up for it's really ready to push through.
Looks really good on a longer time frame. Just need that daily chart to match up.
Yeah. And then rounding up, we have Lewis Stein. He's looking at TTC through 74.
Yeah, I was talking about this one, 74.50, 75. Really nice technical chart. It just needs to break the 74, 75 level on some volume. Pretty thin name, but definitely looks good.
Nice. All right. I mean, that wrapped up the member ideas a little quicker this week. We can jump into some good trade, bad trade.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll start. We had a pretty good week last week. I went pretty much all cash Friday, except I kept some of this AVDR, but that's where I'll start. AVDR, we've been really watching this one develop, this earnings flag at highs with the accelerating sales and everything we love about a trade. So this one gave us a really clean breakout. I sold a lot, mostly all into strength Friday. So that was a good one. What else did I have? I only had 4 trades last week. Oh, it was the Twilio short, the Veev short. Oh, and then I traded the hell out of this Yeti. It doesn't look like much on the daily, but my intraday trading was really good with it. I'll show you when I edit it and all that. But pretty much, you see last Thursday, we tried to push up through that 31, that moving average. Mm-hmm. When it wasn't able to do that, something I did really well was I kind of just accepted that for the rest of the week that might be the high, and I took profit into the next kind of strength it gave me. But these were much more of day trades and quick trading. So I wouldn't expect the average trader to do really well in this name. Didn't really do much last week. Mm-hmm. But AVDR, Twilio, and Veev, some good ones. But that's really all I got. I kept it pretty tight last week. What about you?
Nice. So I had a few. So we had 2 of like the bigger picture days with this OKE. We caught this nice gap with this Saudi Aramco news. One of the guys, I think it was Brian, asked me today, he's like, why'd you up your stop tighter than prior? We bought 72, I had a break-even stop, which is kind of letting it go because all-time highs. But we saw this gap up today, and then when you typed up, VDE, if you typed up Chevron or Exxon, a lot of these other oil names today, a lot of them were gapping up, but then filling into the gap. So you weren't getting like that gap to go, other than this HES, which was up.
Right.
That was one of the. Yep.
Can I chime in? So I had a lot of guys because we were talking about the Saudi Aramco news this morning. We should mention it quick. Pretty much their supply got crazy drone strike overnight. Maybe the biggest overnight oil news we've seen in the last decade or two. It's up 18% overnight. So all these names that were these big picture setups, they're giving these huge gap ups. And yes, absolutely stick with your winners. But when we're looking at these things from a few day trade wise, it's going to need to digest this move heavily. So coming into today, looking to take profit into this huge gap up is the right move to me for a good portion of your stock, because the time it's going to need to flag out and continue going is, it's going to need to pull back a decent amount first. So it's like, while you have the strength here, while you have this huge gap up, it makes so much sense to take profit into it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that's what it was. Like looking through all these energy names, other than really Hess, which broke out, beautifully, all the other ones were pulling into the gap. So it was like for this OK, it's like we were given kind of this layup where I was like, and it's a doji at highs. I'm like, I'd rather just take it than, start marrying it and wanting to give it all this room. So that was one of the things. The other one, WDC, was a big picture idea from about 2-3 weeks back. Same thing. We started to retest highs last week, and I started to just up stop. So I had like a 63.89 stop, and got stopped out this morning. But that was like a solid 10% trade. Let's see what else. I had one pretty good bad trade that other guys in the chat murdered, which was this Raytheon. So we bought it through 188 on, this was September 6th, about 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, I know.
So my mess up here was, and again, I always look at the daily chart, but I was zoomed in too much, where about 188, it ran into 192, it started to pull back, and I was like, I'd rather take the few bucks versus giving it back to break even. And this is kind of like a problem or issue that I've been working on, where it's either I give it back to break even and I get stopped out, and then it can go, or I can take a little bit of money and up the stop, but then I might miss the move. And this was a perfect example where instead of just having that break even stop, I upped it a little bit. So I made $2-3, really nothing significant, but then it really runs, and it's up 15 points higher. So that was like, someone mentioned, I think it was Drew today, for DFS, and he's like, I had my stop 82.30 something, when our stop was break even below 82. And that was, I saw like a similar example where it's like, for Raytheon, my stop should have been just break even, as I always did. But the fact that I tried to get cute and take a couple dollars off the table versus just break even, I missed this bigger trade. And that's what I kind of saw with with Drew mentioning it today, I hit him up privately. I was like, yo, just leave it break even instead of being cheap and trying to get the couple pennies, just give it the right room. And that was like, just watch this rate ceiling run every day. I was like, God damn it, how did I make 2 points when this thing went 15? So that was probably my worst trade, just from an execution standpoint. And the other ones, the WDC and OK were just trailing. That was really it. There was one other one, was WBA. Again, definitely a name that you would buy. Just kind of a staple, named Walgreens. I bought it up through 52, just trailed it. It got into that gap fill, like through that 56, 58 area. And it just had a monster 6-point move in like 3 days. So I just had a $57 stop and got stopped out. So it was just, it was a quick, move. Not really like bread and butter because it wasn't necessarily top right. Those were most of the trades that I took. And then again, for this week, what did I have? I'm looking at Best Buy through 70. That's been it's just been basing out for a bit. And then again, this Kara, I think you had Kara as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Luke's been hitting me up like every day about this Kara. I want to be in it because it's just such a huge level going back to 2014.
Right, and the daily is so tight.
Yeah.
So when we talk about, all right, we're talking about Nike and whatever that other one was before, where it's like great levels on the weekly. We want to see the daily turn into this Kara chart where it's like you're salivating at the daily flag, and then you look at the weekly and it's like, holy shit, there's a monster level on the weekly as well. So, just because you see a setup on the weekly doesn't mean it's automatic buy. You want that daily to really match up.
Mm-hmm. And that was like, even when talking about Luke, it's like looking at this Kara, it's like we're buying through 24. Like you could keep it tighter versus 23. I might keep it a little bit wider versus 22. But regardless, it's like everything is kind of lining up. It's just when this thing really wants to go. And then either it's going to be that quick move back to 27, 28, or if it's going to really push its way out of this base and higher, we're not going to know, but at least we know kind of where we have to buy and where we have to get out if we're wrong.
Right.
So I think we ran through. Oh yeah, what you have any top ideas you want to jump into?
What do I chop liver over here? I got no charts to look at. Jeez. There's a few things. What haven't we mentioned? Pan W, Palo Alto Networks. So I've been keeping an eye on it since this earnings day, 9.5, that gap up. They had pretty huge earnings. So I was looking for it to flag out. And then today, out of nowhere, it was one of the strongest names out. So I love this above the earnings day high, 218, 219 area. The only problem is it had like a 10-point day today, so it makes tomorrow tough. But going forward, this level, and I think this one the next few months is going to be really nice. Check out ALLO, Allo. This is a recent IPO. Lead this weekly chart.
Oh my God.
Pretty nuts. I mean, they're not making it easy again today with the huge. They're up like 10% today, so that makes it tough again there as well. But I'll keep an eye on it for a tight daily. Zebra, ZBRA. This one's getting tight. I like it above Friday's high. What is that? 206. And then the last one, this recent IPO, TXG. So I think this TXG through highs at 58 could definitely be a sick move there. But that's really it so far.
Nice. All right. We can jump into book of the week.
Oh yeah, you got it first.
I got the classic Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill.
Oh.
There was a couple little lines of them like through this book that were pretty good. One of them was knowledge is the only power. Knowledge is only potential power. It becomes power only when and if you organize it and have a defined plan of action. So it's like you can read every book if you want on trading, but if you don't start actually doing it, it's kind of like useless information. And you talk about another thing where like regarding education, where it's like if you don't pay for it, you don't value it, or use it as much as like free. And we see that with like the free chats. The guys take 3 months to do the free program. Once they join, game planning in 2 days.
Yeah.
So that kind of like really hit nail on the head. But again, that's a classic book. This book is page like orange because it's so old. So highly recommend. Classic. Think and Grow Rich. What are you reading?
I just finished this one. We were talking about it over the weekend. Raving fans. Customer service book. If you have a business of any sort, you need to read this one. Finished it in about 3 or 4 hours. Really quick book. It dives into it says customer service can be broken down into 3 factors. And it's really deciding what you want, figuring out what the customer wants, and then being able to deliver +1. I mean, that was pretty much the gist of the book there. And but it really goes into different strategies and techniques. So it's just if you're in a business or you're a customer facing in any sense, definitely worth your time. Really quick read. by Ken Blanchard. Grading Fans.
Great book.
Great book.
All right. Oh, we never do the thumbs up thing. So guys, still in at this 10-minute mark, drop us a thumbs up. We'd really appreciate it. Until next week.
Next week.
Yeah. Good luck in the markets, guys.
Good luck, you fucking